bei Duft den neuen Song. Außerdem ist Sägezahnzyklus und all diejenigen, die schon gegessen haben und ihre Weißlinge trinken, rumnuckeln, sollten endlich mal ihre Nase bewegen und auch die Tanzfläche bewegen. Und nun geht es los.
You are listening to Däs Bündesliga Show here on the Lock Betting Podcast. Follow Lock Betting on Twitter at lockbetting.com. That's at lockbetting.com. Get all of our premium plays over at the website lockbetting.com. That's lockbetting.com. We are on our way to the 117th month in a row of transparent track profit. Let's begin with this Bundesliga slate, and we begin with the game between Cologne and Wolfsburg, where Cologne are the 5-4 favourites. It's 5-2 on the draw, and Wolfsburg here are the 2-1 underdogs. I think Wolfsburg are a live dog here in this game. I don't think Cologne at home is any kind of fortress. So getting Wolfsburg, who are the marginally better team, at the price of 2-1 does represent some value. Ultimately, though, when you see these two names coming up against each other, like a lot of games in the Bundesliga, you are kind of looking towards the goals. I think it's very difficult to see either team keeping a clean sheet here in this game. I think you're looking at either both teams to score or the over 2.5 goals as your main selection. In head-to-head games, looking at the previous data, Cologne haven't kept a clean sheet in this fixture in 9 straight games. Over 2.5 goals has cashed in 7 of the last 9. Wolfsburg come into this game with no wins in 5, but over 2.5 goals has cashed in 6 of their last 7 matches. So we take the over here rather than going for any kind of selection on a winner. Ultimately, as I said, I do think there is some line value on Wolfsburg as an underdog, but the 4-5 minus 125 on over 2.5 goals is definitely the standout play here in this one. Up next, we look at the game between Hoffenheim and Borussia Dortmund, where Borussia Dortmund are the 7-10 favourites to pick up the away win here. If you shop around, you can find the best price of 3-4. It's 16-5 on the draw, and it's also 16-5 on Hoffenheim as a home underdog. These two teams have had completely opposite runs at the moment, and what I'm essentially going to do here is just ride the data with Hoffenheim being in poor form and Borussia Dortmund being red hot at the moment. Borussia Dortmund have a 100% record since they came back from the World Cup. They have absolutely been the informed team in Germany. I don't think anybody saw this coming because Borussia Dortmund are usually a decent side, but a model of inconsistency. They drop points in places where they really shouldn't drop points and ultimately often hand the title to Bayern Munich. That isn't happening this season. If Bayern want to win the league, they are going to have to work for it. Hoffenheim, they have gone in the opposite direction. They have failed to win every single one of their games in 2023. The opposite of Dortmund, who have won every single one of their games. Both teams to score has been a winning bet in 7 of Hoffenheim's last 9 Bundesliga matches. In fact, you could have taken both teams to score and Hoffenheim's opponents to win and cash 7 of the last 9. Hoffenheim have lost 8 of their 9 league matches as pre-match outsiders this season. So they are a very poor underdog. They lose matches they are supposed to lose, and they are supposed to lose this one, and therefore we will take Borussia Dortmund to carry on that winning run here and shop around for the price of 3-4. This opened up at minus 125. People have jumped on that. There is 3-4 still available, but I would play this at anything better than 4-6 minus 150. Up next, we look at the game between RB Leipzig and Eintracht Frankfurt, where Leipzig are the 4-6 favourites. 3-1 on the draw, and it's 4-1 here on Frankfurt. Frankfurt had a poor defeat in midweek against Napoli. Their Champions League tie is already over, losing 2-0 at home to Napoli, who are one of the most in-form teams in the league. Does not put you in a good position to qualify, so now they can solely focus here on their league form. I think Eintracht Frankfurt could get something here from this game. RB Leipzig also played in the Champions League in midweek, so there really is no advantage other than RB Leipzig got to stay at home. But Eintracht Frankfurt's 5 league stalemates this season have all finished 1-1 draws, and Eintracht Frankfurt have avoided defeat in 8 of their last 9 league fixtures. 4 of the last 5 head-to-head encounters between these two teams have ended level as well. So we don't usually take draws here, but I think there is significant line value on the draw. RB Leipzig should win this game. They are a decent home team. Their home ground is a real fortress, but the 3-1 on the draw is too big here, given the data to support it. And we will take that as our main lean here for this game between Leipzig and Frankfurt. Up next, we move to the 5:30 kickoff, where Schalke, the lock killers for us, they have now cost us 2 locks since the World Cup resumed by having 0-0 draws away to Borussia Mönchengladbach, and last week as well they got themselves another 0-0 draw against Union Berlin. They're at home here against Stuttgart, where Schalke are once again the underdogs at 2-1. It's 9-4 on the draw, and it's 13-10 here on Stuttgart. Difficult really to make a selection here, but off the back of getting those 2 positive away results, it could be worth taking Schalke here as an underdog. Not as an outright underdog on the money line, but in the draw no bet market as a pick. The price is 13-10 plus 130. Schalke are yet to win in 2023, but Stuttgart haven't won an away league game so far this season. So I would be taking a chance here on Schalke. They have posted a Bundesliga record of 4 consecutive goalless draws ahead of this cash. We lost locks on 2 of those. So defensively, they look solid. If they can nick a goal here, they could be in a good position to win this game. But ultimately, if they don't lose, you don't lose any money here. So we'll take Schalke in the draw no bet market at the price of 13-10 plus 130. Jump into Sunday, we have Freiburg at home to Bayer Leverkusen, where it's 23-20 on Freiburg. 12-5 on the draw, and Bayer Leverkusen here are the 2-1 underdogs. Leverkusen, one of the most frustrating and unpredictable teams in all of Europe. They came back from the dead after losing the home leg against Monaco to qualify. And I actually called that to happen on the European show, on the Europa League show, sorry. I did say that they were a live dog. I did say I fancied them to qualify at a huge price in a game that would have goals once again. And that's exactly what happened. And moving on to this game, I can't see anything but goals. Over 2.5 goals, a little bit juiced. Both teams to score also slightly juiced. But tacking the 2 selections together gives you the whopping price of 13-10 plus 130. And we will jump on that here, as both teams have scored with over 2.5 goals, cashing in 3 of Freiburg's last 4 home clashes. And the same is true of Leverkusen's last 4 of 3 of Leverkusen's 4 away clashes. So the same data for these 2 teams. They've cashed 75% of their plays in this situation, where Freiburg are at home, over 2.5 goals of both teams to score is cashed, and whilst Leverkusen are away, both teams to score over 2.5 goals is cashed, and that is the situation here for this game. If I was asked to pick a winner, I would lean with Freiburg, simply because they didn't see any action in midweek, whereas Leverkusen played extra time in Monaco. So Freiburg should come through and win this. They are the favourites to do so, and I do think that they will win this game. The final game here on the show is between first and third. Union Berlin, after last week's draw, dropped to third in the league, but the Bundesliga table looks fascinating. Every one of the top 4 have played 21 games. Freiburg have 40 points in 4th place. Then you have Union Berlin 43, Dortmund 43, and Bayern Munich on 43. Yet Bayern Munich are the overwhelming favourites to win the league. I've said it consistently so far this season. I don't think that Union Berlin can keep up this pace, and ultimately I do think that Bayern Munich will end up running away with the league. I also think that Dortmund have been a model of inconsistency over the years, and they will drop off, and with Bayern Munich having to still play Borussia Dortmund, that's usually a guaranteed 3 points every season for Bayern Munich. As for this game, I expect Bayern Munich to come out fast and get the job done here. If Union Berlin can survive the first 45 minutes, I will be surprised. I think they'll try and sit in with a defensive low block and try and nick the games. And that's possible because they've massively overperformed with their XG so far this season. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility that Union Berlin can nick the early goal in this game. But ultimately, I think the pressure will be too much. I think Bayern Munich score in the first 45 minutes and go on to see the game out. Bayern Munich half-time, full-time is available at even money plus 100. We're taking this because Bayern Munich have led at half-time and in full-time in 5 of their last 7 home matches, while Union Berlin have conceded the opening goal in 5 of the last 6 games away from home and have trailed at half-time in 3 of those games, and they're coming up here against the best team in Germany. So half-time, full-time, Bayern Munich, your selection here at the price of plus 100 for this one. The game of the week in Germany between first and third in the league, with the two teams coming into this game on the same amount of points, with Union Berlin clearly being the surprise package so far this season. But ultimately, I expect a drop-off. They come up here against, as I said, the best team in the league, and I do think Bayern Munich will end up winning this game. Closing out with your lock on the show. A lot of people obviously want something from the last game because it is the headline game, but there's no value on Bayern Munich there at 1-3. You could consider them as a parlay piece, but not with anything here in Germany that I'm willing to lock up. So your lock on the show is going to be on Borussia Dortmund at the price of 3-4. Two teams in complete opposite form, and sometimes the two teams can break that trend together, with Hoffenheim suddenly winning and Borussia Dortmund suddenly losing, and it's the end of two trends that intertwine with each other. But I'm going to go with Dortmund. I'm going to go against Hoffenheim, who have failed to win a game in 2023, and with Dortmund, who have won every single game since they came back from the World Cup. We will take the price here at 3-4, plus Hoffenheim have massively overperformed against top sides in the Bundesliga. That's it for me. Good luck with all your bets as always, and thanks for listening.